Hello everybody and welcome to Hydrocycle Fly Fishing. Today we're going to tie my BTK Goby pattern. It's a very nice pattern for sea trouts on the coast and they seem to really love it. So I'm gonna share this pattern with you. So first we're gonna put on our thread down to the hook bend. Then we're gonna take some craft fur in a color called white Brandy fox. It's very neat. This is gonna be a bright version of the pattern, but this craft fur is white and has some brownish tips. So first we will remove the underfur. There we go. We're gonna measure up. So it has to be a little bit longer than the hook shank, maybe a centimeter. So then we're gonna remove all the short fibers. That's not gonna be the tail. There we go. Tie it down, a couple of turns, there we go. Then we're gonna measure up, cut it off a couple of millimeters behind the hook eye. Then we're gonna tie it down with some close turns. The body is gonna be made with some Mirage Tinsel, so this will help it give it a bit of volume. There we go. And we're gonna take some big ball chain eyes, tie those in, crisscross. Go. Yeah, that's it. Then we're gonna take some monofilament that we're gonna use as a rib. Blob it, squeeze the blob, and we're actually gonna make a dubbed rib hackle. So it's a rib hackle, but then with some dubbing. I'm gonna show you how to do it. So tie the rib on the other underside of the hook shank down to the tail. There we go. And we're gonna take a feather, a rooster feather in medium ginger. So spread out the fibers. Cut the tip off. Tie it in right next to the monofilament. Go. And we're gonna take some varnish. Put a lot of it on the body so it gets really strong. There we go. And some Mirage Tinsel and Opal. And I usually use a size large. Go. Tie it in at the front and go backwards down to the tail. And the varnish is also gonna make the tinsel stay on a little more. There we go, and forward again. So tie that in pretty close to the Beadchain eyes. Go a little back with the thread where the hackle, dubbed Rib Hackle, is going to end, and go forward with the thread. So now we're gonna separate the hackle and the monofilament, and then we're gonna take some dubbing. For this I'm using Senyo laser dub. It's very nice dubbing for this. So, and we're gonna dub it on to the monofilament. Be careful that you don't use too much. It has to be a little sparse. So, and it's quite a nice idea to put the dubbing on very far away from the hackle and then just take it down to it. So there we go. Put the monofilament on the underside of the hackle. Take our MP plier and twist it. So now the monofilament, the hackle and the dubbing is gonna be twisted together in this. So, and then we're gonna make some make a hackle now. The back body over the Mirage tinsel. So when this comes in water, it's gonna be very translucent, and it's gonna really look like the belly of a goby. So for every turn you take, there should be like a millimeter spacing between the turns, so you can see the Mirage tinsel. So fold the fibers back. There we go. There we go. So take our thread, go back, tie it all down. Separate the hackle and the monofilament and cut off the hackle and get rid of as much as the excess dubbing. And if there's still some, just put it down, take it down and lay it on the upper part of the fly. Then it's not going to be very visible. So there we go. And that's the back body. So take the monofilament between the eyes and down the eye of the hook and tie it down. So cut off the monofilament. There we go. Do some crisscrossing with the Beadchain eyes. There we go. And we're gonna make a dubbing loop. Go forward with the thread. Take our dubbing twister. And some dubbing wax. There we go. So, then we're gonna take some varnish, put down on here to secure everything, and also the monofilament rib that we have tied down, and it's never gonna go anywhere. So, then we're gonna take the craft fur again, I'm gonna separate the hair with my dubbing needle. Take a clamp. There we go. Put it in the dubbing loop. There we go. Now before we turn our dubbing loop, we just have to make sure that the fibers are just as long as the tail of the fly, or maybe just a little bit more. Then we're gonna separate it a little bit here on the thread. And here at the end, it's gonna be head of the fly. We're gonna just pull it a little bit out. So there we go. We don't need those fibers to be very long. We're gonna twist it. There we go. Then we're gonna brush it out so there's no fibers. Get all the excess fibers out. So there we go. Fold the fibers back. Take 2 turns behind the eyes. So 1, 2, and over the eyes, down under. We're gonna take our dubbing needle. Make sure we don't trap too many fibers down. Back over the eyes. Go underneath. There we go. And fold the fibers back and go forward. So then we're gonna tie down the dubbing loop. There we go. So cut it off. Then do a finish. And cut off the thread. So now we just need to brush the head out. to make sure there's no fibers trapped down. Then we're also gonna cut it now. So I'll start on the underside. Try to cut it as close to the hackle on the back body as possible. And I'll start to work my way around. There we go, and then on top. There's a bit more here on this side. Doesn't matter if there's some fibers going on, going over the back body. So. And then we're gonna take a marker and color it. So, and this color is called Goldenrod. It's quite nice with the rest of the colors for this pattern. So, there we go. And we're gonna take a toothbrush, brush it out, because when you mark it, well, then the fibers are gonna get very sticky. So, but when you brush it, it's gonna look nice again. So, take a brown, color some of the head, and then we're gonna put some stripes on it. So, there we go. And that's my BTK Goby. It's been very, very efficient this fall. Especially this color has been very, very good. So, I definitely hope that you liked the video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to see some more patterns in the future. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.